owners helping homeowners.
Kyle Drabek will make his 10th start of the season here this afternoon against his hometown team, the Houston Astros. His father, Doug, pitched for the Astros for 4 seasons. He's from Victoria, Texas. That's where he was born, a suburb of Houston, and he now lives in the Woodlands, Texas. Doug Drabek had signed a free agent contract coming from the Pirates, a 4-year deal, sent him to Houston when Kyle was 6 years old in 1993.
Yeah, right after the 92 season when he was with Pittsburgh, he signed that deal with Houston. That's where Kyle grew up, and that's why he was such a big fan of the Houston Astros when he was a little kid.
This is the rubber game of this 3-game series. Each ball club has won a game, and Doug will face Brad Mills' Houston Astros. Mills in his 2nd season is the skipper of the Astros. Here's the lineup. Astros are 16-30. Michael Bourne's had a good series against the Blue Jays. He can run, and he is a very good leadoff hitter. Angel Sanchez back at second base. Hunter Pence. Carlos Lee, the big cleanup hitter. Brett Wallace, the former Blue Jay, has had a good series. He played and had 2 hits in the game yesterday. Chris Johnson, Clint Marmas, Brian Bogasevic, and J.R. Tolles round out the lineup, and they are set to face Kyle Drabek.
Houston comes into this game 4th in the National League in terms of batting average. Kyle Drabek will take a 3-2, 432 earned run average to the mound for his 10th start of the season. Just 23 years old, he had gone 0-2 during his 3 previous starts before beating Detroit on Monday. In that game, he really established his fastball, surrendering 1 run, 3 hits over 7 innings. That was a 4-2 win. The problem in that start, though, Buck, was 6 walks. That was a career high.
Keep your eye on the command of the strike zone in the outfield. Patterson, Davis, Bautista, Escobar, Hill up the middle. Jason Nix back at third base. Juan Rivera's done a good job at first, and J.P. Arencibia is set behind the plate. First pitch of the ball game is up and away for a ball. Michael Bourne, the leadoff hitter, had a hit in 4 official at-bats. He walked and scored twice yesterday.
Watching Michael Bourne the last couple of days reminds me a little bit of the youngster that the Blue Jays have in their system. Goes the center fielder. Lots of speed at the top of the lineup. A natural-born leadoff hitter.
Good stretch over his last 10 games. 318 average. Both Michael Bourne and Drabek were in the Philadelphia Phillies organization. Bourne came in a trade to Houston. Drabek was a former #1 pick of Philadelphia. And there's a leadoff walk.
Scouting report for Kyle Drabek is brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He's a competitor. He's out there fighting himself, and at times he'll fight his delivery, but he is a competitor. 4-seam fastballs from Drabek. Take that cut out of that fastball, hopefully get 4 strikes, and use the deuce. He has changed his grip on his curveball a little bit, but he's going to have to use it against Houston to get outs.
Angel Sanchez, the second baseman. There's a strike. Sanchez started in the game yesterday. Came on as a pinch hitter in Friday night's game. Yesterday he had a double in his last at bat. He also walked, struck out twice. Bourne at first base is a base stealing threat. He has 16 steals so far this season.
Second in the major leagues behind Jose Reyes of the Mets. No need to hit and run when you've got a guy like that over at first base.
It'll be interesting to watch Michael Bourne today. He sprained his ankle yesterday in the first inning running to third base, and after that we didn't see him in a situation where he felt like he could run. He had 3 steal attempts Friday night and was thrown out once. Not going. Good fastball. Sanchez got a piece of it.
Not a big lead either over at first base for Michael Bourne.
Yeah, you just wonder how healthy that ankle is. He rolled over his ankle going into third base in the first inning of yesterday's game, and then kind of limped around the rest of the afternoon. Drabek ahead 0-2. Just missed downstairs. Kyle Drabek making his 10th start of the season. This is his 6th start here at Rogers Center. This is a very talented, very competitive young starter. Rivera has that ball get away. Tell you what, a healthy Michael Bourne might have tried to go to second base on that.
The ball didn't get very far away from Rivera. He just couldn't find him initially. Bourne at first had thoughts of going. Watch the pickoff play. He has it when he goes and tips it. He doesn't know where the ball is.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy, Drabek's got a good fastball early on.
Certainly does. That was 95 miles an hour. I like his competitiveness on the mound. I mean, that's something that you wish every pitcher would take out there, even when they don't have their good stuff. They're very competitive.
Popped up over near the wall in right. Bautista coming on. And looks like he didn't come up with it. That ball got right to the wall. Bautista reached in about a row deep into the seats. And that fan ended up with the baseball.
Ball was drifting into the seats. And it looked like Bautista was there to make the catch. But the fan just got on top of him.
Fan caught it right above Bautista's glove. Another 1-2 pitch to Sanchez. Waved at and missed. Arancibia can't find it, and Bourne's going to go to second. Sanchez is down on strikes. He missed the breaking ball. But on the ball that got away from Arancibia, Michael Bourne moves into second.
Sanchez was hoping for a call of a foul tip, but the ball bounces. JP just can't get down and keep it in front of him.
The wild pitch will be charged to Drabek. It was a pretty good breaking ball that Drabek threw to Sanchez for the strikeout. Now Hunter Pence. Pence has had a good series. He's had 4 hits in the first 2 games. There goes Bourne to third. Arancibia's throw is late. Well, he looks like he's anxious to run now. You could see that developing at second base before Drabek ever made the motion to the plate.
Aaron Hill, the second baseman, had thoughts of maybe jumping in there behind second base and putting a pickoff play on when Bourne was getting that aggressive lead. You see Hill take a step over and then back, and Drabek looks at him, but he is gone as soon as he starts towards home plate.
Infield is drawn in for Pence, and he fouls it out of play. Houston has been hard pressed to score a lot of runs. They have scored 10 runs in this series, but coming into this series they had scored 6 runs in their previous 4 games. So with that in mind, John Farrell is putting pressure on Hunter Pence to hit something to the outfield.
It's a team that comes here 4th in the National League in hitting, but this is all about run score.
Good job by Arancibia to square up that ball in the dirt.
They are 9th in the league in run score. There's the fan in right field being told, hey, you can't reach out on the field and try and get a foul ball.
Well, I don't know if he was reaching over the field, but just a reminder, Jose Bautista's on our team. And if he wants to catch a ball, stay out of his way.
We'll get you a baseball. We've got plenty of them, right?
Hunter Pence hits it to the shortstop. Escobar will look Bourne back, and the defense worked perfectly. Had the infield been back, that would have been a run for Houston.
That's why you play the infield in. You're hoping that the ball goes right to an infielder. Escobar looks at Bourne, who was thinking about maybe trying to steal a run. He's looked so good in the infield. Good soft hands, good movement.
So now Bourne at third with 2 outs. The cleanup hitter, Carlos Lee. The middle 4 hitters in this lineup had 8 of the 11 hits in yesterday's game. Pence, Lee, Wallace, and Johnson all had 2 hits.
Lee just carrying on what he has done in the month of May. Tied for 8th in the National League with a .333 average. There are the numbers. A couple of home runs, 8 RBIs.
2-0 to lead. Changeup missed down and away. Brett Wallace is on deck. Wallace, the left-handed hitter. Former Blue Jay, had 2 hits, a sac fly. He was 2 for 3 in yesterday's game. He's the left-handed hitter. Driven to center field. Davis took a step in. Now he retreats just shy of the warning track and hauls it in. So the Astros are retired in the first. They stranded runner Jose Bautista, the major league leader in home runs, will bat third when we come back. Just a game and a half back in the AL East. John Farrell, Bruce Walton having an animated discussion in the dugout after that half inning. Escobar, Patterson, Bautista, top of the order. Both Escobar and Bautista hit home runs in yesterday's game. Bautista had a pair. Hill, Rivera, Arancibia, middle of the order. Davis, Encarnacion, Jason Nixon back at third base, batting 9th.
Wandy Rodriguez has a losing record, but a very good earned run average. 2-3 with a 3.45 ERA. His last 4 starts, he has been very good, coming off perhaps his best outing of the year. Gave up 5 hits over 8 scoreless innings Tuesday in Atlanta. Blue Jays have faced Rodriguez before in the past. That was an interleague play 6 years ago.
First pitch strike to Escobar right at the knees. Yunel Escobar hit a 2-run home run in his at bat in the 7th yesterday. Big insurance runs. As the Blue Jays had 3 in the 6th and 3 more in the 7th.
I like how Jose Bautista said he was the game MVP yesterday.
Hits this ball to the gap in right center. Hunter Pence long run. He's not going to get to it. It bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. Yunel Escobar with his 2nd consecutive extra base hit.
He has got some power, and I think we're going to start to see that develop more and more as this season goes along. He's got a very good on-base percentage, but if you make a mistake, he's got some pop in that bat. Astros might have caught a break here as this ball bounces over the wall for 2. That stays in the ballpark, and he's standing on third base.
Escobar's 5th double of the season, and you can see Pence threw his hands up once the ball bounded out of play.
Good time for a drag bunt right here. The worst case scenario is you've got a guy at third base and Jose Bautista coming up.
And there's the bunt. Shortened up, took a ball. Everything's in Patterson's favor here. Left-handed pitcher falls off to the third base side of the mound. You take it up the first baseline. At least you expect to advance the base runner to third. Bautista on deck. You want to get him a good RBI opportunity.
Get it to him early also.
Bounced off the plate, and that'll get into foul ground.
If you're going to sacrifice, and it looks like Corey Patterson is trying to sacrifice With the speed that Escobar has at second base and the jump that he can get, it doesn't matter where you bunt it. You can bunt it to the right side of the infield or you can bunt it to the left side. Normally you would like that third baseman to field the ball to give Escobar a clean shot at third. But wherever Rodriguez throws it, if you're going to sacrifice, get it down.
It's like he was swinging away on that pitch. John Farrell obviously knows the value of an early lead. Might allow Kyle Drabek to relax a little bit and be more aggressive in the strike zone. Escobar with the leadoff double. Patterson's done a good job hitting against left-handed pitching. He's got a .361 average. Pulls it on the right side. That'll do the job. Good at bat for Corey Patterson. He moves Escobar over to third. Jose Bautista leads the majors with 18 home runs. He leads the American League with a .364 average. 2 home runs in yesterday's game.
You know, here's a surprise too, that even in the first inning they bring the infield in. I'm sure Jose is licking his chops right now when he sees the infield in like this.
Yeah, this is a surprising move given how hard Bautista hits the ball. Big numbers over his last 22 games. Look at that. 14 home runs in 22 games.
Also 22 walks. This is a situation right here that's crying out to pitch around him, in my mind.
Yeah, it sure is. You've got a left-handed pitcher and a right-handed batter on deck in Aaron Hill. Base runner at third, less than 2 outs. Perfect RBI situation for Bautista. Hit to the shortstop. Escobar has to hold his ground. Sharply hit, but Farmas makes a nice play on the backhand. So Aaron Hill's going to have to come through with 2 outs. Hill's been a hot hitter of late. Picked up a hit in 4 trips yesterday. He had 3 hits Friday night, including a pair of doubles. Jose Bautista needs some support in the cleanup spot. Bouncing ball foul. We mentioned Adam Lind and how productive he was hitting behind Jose Bautista. Lind began his baseball activities yesterday. He's probably still 8 to 10 days away from joining the club.
Baseball activities being hitting off of a tee, taking ground balls, taking some live batting practice. He's in extended spring training right now down in Florida, and he's hoping to get into some games for the Dunedin team. But John Farrell was telling us that he is still about a week away.
More problems playing defense than swinging the bat, really. Remember, this is his first year playing first base. Hill 0-2. Upstairs, way out of the zone. Wandy Rodriguez is 32 years old. Came up to the Astros in 2005. Didn't waste any time getting into the heat of the battle. Pitched in the World Series for the Astros against the White Sox. His best season came in 2009 when he won 14 games. Pitched 205 2/3 innings that season. He's a guy that kind of goes under the radar, but he's a very effective left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, he's not a fireballer that those kind of guys just jump off the screen at you, but he moves the ball around, he changes speeds, he's got a very good curveball.
Just missed the outside corner. Rodriguez thought he had struck out Hill. Full count, 2 outs. Blue Jays got a leadoff double from Yunel Escobar. He is still at third base with 2 outs. The Astros stranded a runner at third in their half of the inning. He walked him. Went with the breaking ball.
Well, we have a minute. Let's take a closer look at who Wandy Rodriguez is. He's got a 2 and a 4-seam fastball. He'll sink his fastball and then try and go in with that 4-seamer to the right-hander. He's got that wicked curveball. He gets strikeouts with that. A little bit of a slider and a lot of changeup. And when he is on, you'll see a lot of ground ball outs. When he's got that fastball, turning it over and getting it to the right-handers. The changeup, too, has got a little bit more sink on it than he did when he first came up. Throws lots of innings, lots of pitches, and he's always around the plate.
Juan Rivera 5 for 11 in the homestand. Trying to deliver with runners at the corners and 2 outs. 1 for 4 in last night's game. Breaking ball pulled the third. Big hop for Johnson. Blue Jays will strand a pair. We have played an inning here at Rogers Center. It's a scoreless ball game. The action at the 2011 MasterCard Memorial Cup from Mississauga, Ontario. The action continues tonight with Mississauga and Kootenay. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. MasterCard Memorial Cup right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Kyle Drabek got through the first inning. He walked the first batter, but left Michael Bourne standing at third base. He was able to get out of it when he got Carlos Lee to fly to center. Wallace, Johnson, and Barmas here, the scheduled batters. Brett Wallace hitting .318 so far. Had 3 hits in yesterday's game. Did not start in the game on Friday night.
Got off to a good start this year, and he's battling it a little bit now. You mentioned a couple of hits yesterday. He is still 9th in the NL in on base percentage. That's what the Blue Jays liked about him when they got him. His ability to command the strike zone.
Brett Wallace came out of Arizona State. He was originally drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals as a third baseman, and there you can see his struggles of late. 2 of those 3 hits in his last 20 at-bats came in the game yesterday. Thank you, Jamie. Here we are in the second inning. A 3-1 count to Brett Wallace. Full count, nobody out here in this scoreless ball game. Brett Wallace, the first baseman, leading off the second inning. Another leadoff walk issued by Drabek. Blue Jays are trying all kinds of different adjustments with Kyle Drabek. What's the most recent adjustment they have made with him on the mound?
Well, they've made 2 of them with Drabek. They put him in the middle of the rubber. couple of starts ago, he was more towards the third base rubber, and I think he was locking himself off where he couldn't get the ball to the arm side part of the plate. So they've moved him to the middle part of the rubber to open up both sides.
Johnson goes after the first pitch, down and in.
His curveball also is a spiked curveball, or was a spiked curveball. That's where you put the index finger, the nail of the index finger on the curve, and it helps you to throw your curve. Now they've taken that off of the ball, put his finger on there a little bit more. It helps him to control it just a little bit more.
Good fastball. He jumps ahead of Chris Johnson. Johnson's been a hot hitter. We have seen that here in this series. He had 3 RBIs in yesterday's game, 1 in each of his first 3 at bats. Hit a two-run home run Friday night. Oh, Frank Francisco in the ninth.
4 hits in the first 2 games, and his approach has been see the ball first before you commit.
Goes after that curveball. Second strikeout of the game for Kyle Drabek, both coming on the hook.
One of the reasons why they have changed his grip in the curveball is he just wasn't consistently getting it into the strike zone. Players and managers have information, and he was throwing about 10% of his curveball for strikes. They weren't even swinging at it.
Not unlike what happened with Roy Halladay early in his career. Halladay had that big breaking knuckle curveball that was very good, but rarely was it called a strike, and oftentimes hitters just took it. 1 out. Brett Wallace at first. Clint Barmas, the shortstop, looks at an outside fastball right on the corner. Kyle Drabek grew up in the Houston area. Went to high school in the Woodlands. That's where he lives now. And he was a 6-year-old when his dad first started playing for the Houston Astros. That's going to be a foul ball down the left field side. So you can imagine he got a little mini Astro uniform at home somewhere.
yeah, wearing that to the father-son game. Watching the Astros growing up, cheering for him.
And you know, Kyle's mom, Christy, had a lot to do with Kyle's baseball, with Doug working so much, and obviously every day with his team. And moms always have a lot to do with their boys' success.
And this game is being televised, obviously, back to the Houston area, so he's got family, friends, everybody watching. He wants to pitch well.
Clint Barmas, the shortstop, had a broken hand to start the season, was on the disabled list. He's just trying to find his timing. Brett Wallace with the leadoff walks at first. Down and away. The Woodlands is a suburb about 28 miles north of Houston. And Drabek went to Woodlands High School, which is one of the biggest high schools in Texas. At one point, they had almost 5,000 students. Pretty good pool to draw from for your athletic teams, huh?
You might be able to find a couple of baseball players there.
There's a line drive in the left. That'll get down in front of Corey Patterson. But Barmas has the first hit for the Astros here this afternoon. So with 2 on and 1 out, take a look at this Barmas swing.
It's like he left the ball up. It might have been a changeup. Sweet spot right there, and Barmas hits it into left field. This is where Kyle Drabek can't fight himself right here. He's got to really let his natural ability come through. You get a couple of runners on and you watch him, and his teeth start clenching a little bit harder. He tries to throw the ball a little bit harder. This is where he just needs to pitch and not throw.
Brian Bogusevic, 1 for 4 in yesterday's game. He had 3 strikeouts after getting a base hit in his first at bat. Scoreless game here, top of the 2nd inning. Line drive toward left. Corey Patterson over, makes the running catch. Patterson was shaded a step toward the left field foul line, got a good jump on that and made a good play.
Tough to get around on a fastball about 95 or 96 miles an hour. That base hit yesterday by Bogasevic was to left field. So they had him played perfectly. Same way here with Tolles. Tolles can't get the head out on a fastball.
Number 9 hitter J.R. Tolles, the catcher. Tolles started Friday night. Went 0 for 4 in the ball game. This biggest challenge for the coaching staff is to try to come up with a defensive alignment for players you haven't seen that often.
They watch a lot of TV. The video of their games to gauge how the other teams are pitching them, where the defense is played. That's why you'll see the coaches in here for a 7 o'clock game. They're in here at 11:30 watching video of their team.
Been a real struggle for Tolles of late. 0 for 26 in his last 9 games. Ball on the strike. Fly ball to right. That should do it. Bautista is under it, makes the catch, and the Astros strand 2 more. They've left 3 on base here early in this ball game. We've played an inning and a half. We're still scoreless. Home runs by a catcher in the big leagues. Russell Martin hit a home run last night against Chris Capuano in the Yankee-Mets game, and that has given him the lead. But there's Aaron Sebia tied with Ron Barajas for second in the majors with the most home runs.
32 of them last year in the minor leagues. Aaron Sebia has really, I think, hit well. You look at the directions of his hits, 16 of them to left, 6 to center, 6 to right field. That tells me that he is trying to use the whole field, but not take away from his power. And he's got power to all fields.
It sure does. And here he takes one to center field in the Ricky Romero game on Thursday and drilled it deep to center. That was number 7. A 2-run home run in the 7th inning.
And he has been wearing out left-handers. 393 average. 2 of his 7 home runs versus left-handers.
Last 5 games hitting over 300. 0-2. How much do you think his comfort level behind the plate has helped his batting average at the plate?
I think it's like a fielder when he starts to field the ball and feel like he's part of the team, helping out the team with the glove, that his bat's just naturally going to come around.
Randy Rodriguez strikes him out with a breaking ball. That's the first strikeout for the Astros lefty. Blue Jays against left-handed pitching, and this is quite a turnaround from last year. Look at the Blue Jays average. They were .215 last year, and now they're hitting .301 as a team. That's the best in the American League.
Yeah, 7-4 versus left-handed starters this year, hitting over .300 as a team versus left-handed pitching.
Adam Lind and Corey Patterson, two left-handed batters, have contributed to those solid numbers. Rajai Davis trying to gain discipline at the plate where he doesn't chase that pitch off the plate outside. Good eye and off that inside fastball. His numbers are starting to come around as well. This is an interesting trend for John Farrell. Davis, if he continues to swing the bat this well, how about moving Davis back into the leadoff spot?
Use that speed just a little bit more at the top of the lineup.
There's a line drive into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Michael Bourne over to cut it off. Davis headed for second. And he'll get in there with a stand-up double. Good start to the afternoon for Rajai Davis.
Over his last 10 games, over 400. John Farrell said getting on base is the key for him. And you'll get on base a lot of times when you can take that ball the other way like he does right there. Bourne knocks it, gets to it, but that speed is just too much by Davis, and he just runs himself into a double.
Davis with 12 steals. Encarnacion lines it into center. That'll get down in front of Bourne. Davis didn't read it very well, and there goes Encarnacion to second. Heads up base running by Edwin. Michael Bourne made a bad throw from center. That eliminates the chance for the double play as Edwin Encarnacion moves into second.
He was out early the last couple of days. Edwin Encarnacion working with Dwayne Murphy on his batting. Here's the mistake right here. Bourne thinks that Davis is going to try and score. The ball's muscled into center field, but Rajai Davis wasn't real sure if the ball was going to get down and actually had stopped between second and third. When the throw went home, Edwin Encarnacion doesn't stop.
So great opportunity for Jason Nix, the number 9 batter. Watch Rajai Davis at second base. He's still putting his gloves on when this ball is hit into center. He gets a late break.
And then stops between second and third. Not sure if Bourne's going to catch it.
First pitch curveball for a strike to Jason Nix. Blue Jays with a chance to break on top. The breaking ball fouled at the plate. Blue Jays stranded a pair in the first. Escobar with the leadoff double. Hill had a walk, but then Rivera hit a ground ball to third to end the inning. Jason Nix still trying to get his timing down since coming off the DL.
Fastballs up have been a problem to him.
Wandy Rodriguez was aware of that.
That is a total setup pitch right there. He's got a good curveball. Now he can go back up there if he wants to. Jason's been popping up that pitch or swinging through it, or he can try with his good curveball.
1-2. There's the curveball, comes right back with it. You broke down that approach to the tee.
Thank you. Change the eye level with that high fastball 0-2, and then if you've got a good curveball, use it. And that's exactly what Wandy Rodriguez did right there to get the big strikeout.
Second and third, 2 outs, back to the top of the order. Escobar has already doubled here this afternoon. Average sits at 280. Comes right back with that curveball. Blue Jays, as we mentioned, have hit 301 as a team against left-handed pitching. Last couple of years, that's been a real battle for them, even though they've had a lot of good right-handed bats.
Vernon Wells comes to mind. A couple of years ago, he just wore out the lefties. Last year, not much. This year, Aaron Seavey almost at 400. Jose Bautista over 400 versus the left-handers. Escobar's hitting 343. versus lefties. After the first hit, they jumped that up to 361. You mentioned Adam Lind over 300. How about Jose Molina? Softball numbers.
7 for 11. Molina's hitting .636 against lefties. J.R. Tolles with a short meeting with Wandy Rodriguez. He had mentioned that the Astros have been hard-pressed to score runs before this series. Pivotal point of the ball game early on. Second and third, 2 outs in a scoreless game. Brad Mills' team has split the first 2 games of this 3-game series. Boy, Escobar's having good at-bats lately.
Seeing the ball. He saw that off-speed pitch as soon as it left Wandy Rodriguez's hand.
Counts in his favor. 2 balls and a strike. Another good pitch he lays off of. Left-handed batter on deck. You can bet that Wandy Rodriguez is not going to give Escobar too much to hit here.
They get the same scouting reports as we do. They know that Escobar is hot. They might even just put him on now.
And they do. So Escobar will take the intentional walk. That'll load the bases for Corey Patterson with 2 outs. Brad Arnsberg looks like he's going to come to the mound and help Rodriguez with a game plan here against Patterson. Patterson grounded to second base his first time up. Blue Jays have gone 8-2 over the last 10 games, and you can see the reason why. They've hit nearly .290 as a ball club.
Averaging 10 hits per game. The doubles, the home runs are back. You add that up, and over the last 10 games, Blue Jays have the best record in baseball over the last 10. The bats have been a big part of it, averaging over 6 runs a game.
Corey Patterson, coming into this game, he had a .361 batting average against left-handed pitching. Rajai Davis hit a double to center field. Edwin Encarnacion singled and went to second on the throw, and the intentional pass has loaded the bases. Inside. Jose Bautista on deck. Corey Patterson has 19 RBI. Pops this one up. Tolles with the mask off makes the catch, and the Blue Jays are going to strand the bases loaded. Wandy Rodriguez showing his experience, pitched out of a tough jam, gets Corey Patterson to pop up to the catcher. Still scoreless here after 2. last year. This is his 10th this season, and we're comparing him to some Blue Jays of past and present. Ricky Romero went 10-3 in his first 12 starts. Roy Halladay 5-3, ERA over 4. Jimmy Key had a good ERA in his 5 this season, and Dave Steve went 5-5 with an ERA over 4. So I guess you could say Kyle Drabek is right where he should be after 12 career starts.
It's a learning process. Very rarely do you have guys just burst onto the scene and just dominate, especially at just 23 years old. There's not a lot of Dwight Goodens out there. Remember when he came up and was striking everybody out?
Brett Saberhagen would be another guy that came up at a young age and was dominant. Guess you could put Zach Greinke in that class as well, but he kind of sputtered early on too.
It's a learning process, and every time he takes the mound, he's got to be able to learn something.
Michael Bourne slaps it into left field. That'll get down in front of Corey Patterson. He's going to have to get it in a hurry. Corey Patterson kind of backed up on that ball as if he wasn't quite sure how far it was going to carry it. So leadoff base hit for Michael Bourne.
Playing deep against Michael Bourne. Hesitates just a little bit and then gives up. Good job by Davis to get over there to back it up. That might have been a good time to go ahead and just lay out and see if you can keep Bourne off the bases.
Bourne stole third in his first trip around the bases. We had mentioned that he sprained an ankle yesterday in his first at bat, but obviously got a great jump on his steal. He now has 17 stolen bases. Angel Sanchez struck out his first time up. Sanchez did a good job filling in at shortstop for Cliff Barmas when Barmas began the season on a disabled list.
Started the first 25 games at shortstop for Houston. Barmas was on the DL, broken hand. Returned right at the end of April. Sanchez has moved into a utility type of role for the Astros.
Line drive base hit into center field. Davis comes after it. Bourne will stop at second. Back-to-back base hits to start the third.
Save during the lawn and garden sale only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
So the Astros have something going here in the third. Hunter Pence, the 3-hitter, grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Got to keep your eye on Michael Bourne. He's already taken third here in this game. Hunter Pence is a very aggressive hitter. Asked J.P. Aronsevi about what he thought as far as a game plan on how to pitch him, and he thought that they could challenge him inside with fastballs.
Yeah, he looks like the guy who likes the ball out in front, where he can try and do something with the ball out away from him, try and crowd him and see if he can extend his arms.
Escobar in with a short message for Drabek, probably pertaining to Michael Bourne at second.
That's exactly right. And with a lot of people paying a lot of attention to Michael Bourne at second base, the runner at first base is getting a huge lead. Maybe you can slide in behind him and put a pickoff play on.
There's that slashing style of Pence as he fouls it up. J.P. Aronsevi is getting more comfortable throwing to the bases, and certainly that's a great opportunity if you can sneak Rivera in behind the runner at first.
Catchers will put on that play. They'll give a pitch. They'll waste a pitch, fastball away, and they'll put that play on. Rivera's now starting to jockey behind Sanchez at first. Catchers will give that fastball away, especially with a right-hander up there. You've got that clear sailing to first base. See if you can get a big out on the bases.
Ball on the strike. Pence went too far. 1-2. Drabek has a couple of strikeouts. He struck out Sanchez in the first, got Chris Johnson in the second.
Both of them on breaking balls. Both of them out of the strike zone.
There's a ground ball to third. Nix will go after the runner, and he is called out. And that's all they're going to get. So Bourne is out at third base on the tag play by Nix, but he didn't have any other play. He took that base runner right in front of him.
Talking to John Farrell before the game. This is a play that happened yesterday. John McDonald was playing third yesterday and caught the ball, and they felt like there was interference on the runner, which was Bourne. That time aggressively he attacked the ball, Nix, and made the tag. Take that speed off the bases.
Yeah, when you have a play like that, you want to make sure that you really put a good firm tag on the base runner so the umpire can see the contact. 1 out now for Carlos Lee. As Drabek gains more experience, he will understand that he still controls the situation, even with a couple of men on. He doesn't have to feel like he's got to be perfect to get out of it. Make a quality pitch, get a ground ball, and you can get out of the inning.
That's one of the things that the Jays have been talking to him about trusting his stuff. And, you know, you're a pretty good pitcher. Your stuff plays pretty well.
And you can see some good hitters like Lee take awkward swings an awful lot against Drabek. Just missed with that cut fastball. Kyle Drabek's under so much scrutiny. Everybody watches his reaction. They want to see how intense he is. He's fighting himself. No, he's a competitor. Bruce Walton recognized this way back in spring training, where he said, you know what? Kyle Drabek thinks he should shut out the Yankees every time he pitches.
You know what?
That's not a bad thing.
That's
Nix
not
is
a bad
going to go
thing.
to the bag and retire Lee on the foresight.
That's not a bad thing. You want that kind of stuff in your pitchers, that they feel like they can take care of the best at any time. Is that something you learn, or is that something that you just have inside you?
It's something you have inside you. I don't think you can learn that quality. I think Doug had it, Kyle's father. He always felt like he was the best man on the field on a given day. When he took the mound, that there was nobody else who was going to beat him. You got to have that. You've been around great players. All great players think they're the best on the field.
That's why they're great. Along with great talent, they think they're the best.
First and second, 2 outs. Still a scoreless ball game. Brett Wallace takes a first pitch strike. Wallace walked his first time up. One of 2 walks Drabek has issued. Breaking ball blocked by Aaron Sevilla. JP did a good job of that block. He went down and covered up the 5-hole, just made sure he played it off his chest protector. What's he signaling here?
Telling that if the runners try to steal, first of all, we'll take a look at the block. It's perfect. That's textbook right there. I'd be able to get down a little bit quicker, but just try and block that ball. Just smother it. He was giving signs to the infielders in case there's a double steal. He's telling them where he's going to throw the ball.
Good fastball just off the plate upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Well, you can see this is a different Drabek we are seeing here in this inning. Just his composure, his demeanor, kind of thinking his way through the inning as opposed to muscling his way through the inning.
That's a good way of describing it. You don't want to muscle pitches to the plate. You want to relax, sit back, and just use your good stuff.
Threw that changeup and pulled it down and in.
Managing expectations, I think, are important also when you're talking about young pitchers. We flashed at the beginning of this inning the first 12 starts of some of the better pitchers in Blue Jay history. And it wasn't all wine and roses with those guys.
3-1 pitch to Wallace. He goes after a borderline pitch. Could have been down. But when you think about it, I want Brett Wallace swinging at borderline pitches with a chance to drive in a run. He's a left-handed batter facing a right-handed pitcher. I don't care if he walks. Yeah. I'd rather have him drive in a run if he's going to be your RBI guy. So we're at a full count. There are 2 outs and 2 on. Still a scoreless ball game. There go the runners. Base hit to center field. Hunter Pence around third. He'll come in to score. The throw goes to third base. Lee is in there with a hard slide. Astros have taken a 1-0 lead.
The extra starting point by Lee is he's able to get to third base. Looked like a sinker down and away, catches the plate, and Wallace, who's very good about going up the middle and the other way, slaps it into center field. And you can see Lee is just now at third base when Davis gets rid of it, and that helps him to get into third, go first and third. Brett Wallace picks up the RBI, his 15th.
There's a good straight leg slide, beats the tag of Nix into third. He's a big man, but he runs the bases well. Got a running start on the full count. Brett Wallace delivers the RBI, his second in as many games. Chris Johnson very aggressive on that first pitch. Lays off the inside fastball. Johnson struck out his first time up. Larry Vanover down at first said there was no swing from Johnson. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Chris Johnson has the count in his favor. He's got some power. Big swing. He got underneath.
We were talking a hit or ago about expectations with young pitchers. You were around here when Roy Halladay broke in. What were the expectations like when he started?
Well, everybody thought he was going to be automatic, and it didn't help that he took a no-hitter into the 9th inning in his first game. Started here at Rogers Center against Detroit, took a no-hitter into the 9th. Bobby Higginson broke it up with a home run. There's a grounder to third. Nix has plenty of time. And Johnson's retired. Draybeck minimizes the damage. But Houston has taken a 1-0 lead. Jose Bautista will start things off for the Jays, bottom of the third. off for the Jays here in the bottom of the third inning, and look what he's done without Adam Lind hitting behind him. 13 games this season, he's hit nearly 360.
Yeah, the number 4 hitter is so important when you start putting the lineups together. And what the Blue Jays have gotten from the number 4 hitter, they're 6th in batting average and 3rd in RBIs, but a lot of that was Adam Lind.
The first pitch changeup for his strike. Okay, the infield more conventional. In the Tampa Bay series, every time Bautista was up, no matter if it was a lefty or a righty, he had 3 infielders on the left side of the infield.
Sanchez, the second baseman, is moving that way, but not like the straight pull. And that's why we saw a lot of breaking balls to Bautista. A lot of breaking balls that started right at him. It's the first time all season that we saw right-handers start slow stuff at him and see if he'd swing at him.
Pops a fastball out of play. Well, that's a good point. And when you were hitting, that's the last thing anybody would ever try to do is throw a breaking ball inside.
Never. Not to a power hitter. You'd lose it. You'd have to go tell the bat boy to get the bat.
Good pitch from Rodriguez, strikes out Bautista, crowded him with that fastball. Without Adam Lind in the cleanup spot, Blue Jays have really lacked his production. He had nearly 300 with a lot of damage.
Yeah, you see all the RBIs, 27 RBIs while he was hitting 4th. The number 4 hitters, 9th in extra base hits, 3rd in go-ahead RBIs. But a lot of that, again, was Adam Lind. And he's out of lineup, and they need some kind of protection.
Well, it's been a mix and match lineup for John Farrell all season long. With even Bautista's been out of the lineup. He missed 8 games. Lynn's been on a disabled list now. Hill was on a disabled list. Every position but the catcher has had a player down to an injury.
It's almost like you get started and you have to stop. You get started up again and you have to stop. When this team gets everybody going, I think you're going to see a more consistent offense. I think you're going to see more runs scored.
This is the 46th game for the Blue Jays, and most general managers will tell you they will wait 60 games into a season before they really evaluate their club and see where they're at. John Sherholz, the great general manager of the Atlanta Braves during that phenomenal run of 15 straight division titles, always said, I'm going to wait until we play 60 games and then assess our needs and make movements accordingly.
You start panicking after 30 games and you can make a lot of mistakes.
Ball is lifted high in the air to center field. Michael Bourne is there, and Hill's retired. 2 outs.
I think 2 months is a good judgment of what you have. From the Blue Jays side, though, I don't know if you can say 2 months because they've had so many injuries. You can't get a real good read of your team because you've had so many guys miss ball games.
When you look at the games played, Bautista's played in 37. Escobar's played in 43. Rivera's played in 38. It's just been mix and match. You haven't had a real consistent read on your entire lineup. Juan Rivera batting with 2 outs. Escobar leads the team in at-bats coming into this game with 163. And he missed 3 games with mild concussion symptoms. Two balls and no strikes. Drilled to left field. This ball's got a chance. This ball is gone. Juan Rivera, a 2-out home run, his 4th of the season, a shot to the second deck.
In yesterday's game, Jose Bautista's home run woke everybody up. 3-run home run. It woke the fans up. It woke the players up. Everybody got fired up. Energy in the ballpark. Maybe Juan Rivera's home run could do the same thing. You want to see a 2-0 mistake right here? Right there. Change up over the middle of the plate. Speeds the bat up of Juan Rivera. There's no doubt about it.
Pretty swing. First home run for Rivera against the left-handed pitcher this year. His 4th of the season. He's tied it at 1-1. That had good sound, too.
Good sound.
J.P. Arancibia. 0-2. Yeah, I hit that one pretty good.
Up in the upper tank.
And it was wham bam. Crack of the bat slammed against the seats. Boy, and there's a buzz in the stadium all of a sudden. You're right. That kind of got everybody's attention. Home runs will do that.
Yeah. Long home runs like that, too. The one that people can talk about. There's plenty of home run power up and down this lineup, I think. Rivera now has 4. Arancibia has 7. We haven't seen a home run yet from Davis, Encarnacion, or Hill.
Arancibia to the hole is short through there into left field. A 2-out home run and now a 2-out single.
When they start hitting home runs, now you've got some guys who can score runs in a hurry. Arancibia waits for that breaking ball, waits for it to break over the plate, stays back, and rips it into left field. Hit number 5 for the Blue Jays.
Rajai Davis had a double into right center his first time up. Looks at that breaking ball. Davis is trying to be more disciplined at plate, laying off that borderline pitch away. With that, he's stepped up a little closer to the inside corner. Pretty good look at that breaking ball. Rodriguez thought it was a strike. .32-year-old Wandy Rodriguez. He, like Brett Myers, the starter in yesterday's game, has the ability to consistently pitch deep into ball games.
He certainly did that against the Blue Jays the last time he faced them. That was down in Houston in 2005. He had a career high 6 walks in that game, but lasted 6 innings and won 4-2.
Ball bounced into there. Coles blocks it. Wandy Rodriguez has got at least 7 innings in his last 6 starts. How much does that have to do with the National League and the pitcher battle?
Well, if you're not going to get pinched hit for it, I think it's a lot easier to pitch in the National League. You just navigate around that pitcher spot in the batting order.
Davis takes the walk. Boy, the wheels have kind of come off for Rodriguez after 2 outs here. Home run, single, walk. Blue Jays continue to get base runners on. Blue Jays have stranded 5 so far in this game.
That's the thing. They need that big base hit where you score a couple of runs. They had it last inning, 2nd and 3rd, in just 1 out and didn't score. 1st and 2nd now with 2 outs and a chance to do some damage.
Edwin Encarnacion had a single on the first pitch in his last at bat.
This would be a great spot for that first home run.
Blue Jays just 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position this afternoon. Changeup downstairs.
By not hitting a home run, John Farrell feels that Edwin Encarnacion is pressing a little bit, opening up that front side a little bit too quickly, trying to generate the power instead of just letting his natural strength come through.
High fly ball. Bogusevic has room. Makes the catch. Encarnacion just missed it. Edwin Encarnacion flies out to left field, got underneath it, but the Blue Jays have tied it. A solo home run with 2 outs off the bat of Juan Rivera. A line drive to the seats in the 2nd deck. It's 1-1. fourth inning. And Kyle Drabeck is always tough on himself. You can see his frustration. He thinks he should shut out everybody. And that's a good thing. I don't think John Farrell, Bruce Walton want him to change any of that.
Just channel it a little bit better.
I love that. You know what? It's really tough, too, for a young pitcher. They only get to play once every 5 days. Got to sit around and think about it. Clint Varmus singled his first time up. Average just over 200 for Varmus.
You know what being over aggressive can do to you as a pitcher? It can cause a fundamental breakdown in your delivery. Nothing wrong with being emotional like that, but don't let it affect the way that you deliver a pitch.
Oh, what a good pitch. He really powered that fastball in on the inside corner and racks up the strikeout.
Looked like a front door cut fastball. That 90 miles an hour with a little movement at the end. Good job by Aaron Seba to hold it right there. One of the other things that the Blue Jays have done with Kyle Drabeck concerning his curveball, on top of the grip, the slight change in the grip, is they're trying to get him to throw it out of the same slot as his fastball.
There's a pop-up off the bat of Bogusevic. 2 quick outs here in the fourth. We talk about stuff, and Kyle Drabeck certainly has all the stuff. When you look at the average fastball for the pitchers in the American League, Drabeck is right behind Brandon Morrow, 93.4. That's his average fastball. How about Michael Pineda? Almost 96 average fastball.
There's only a few guys like Pineda and Verlander floating around baseball. It's tough to be like them. And if you have them, hold on to those kind of guys. 93 is pretty good. And when you can command and control, that's when you've got big winners.
Number 9 hitter J.R. Tolles, 0 for 1. Going to be a quick inning for Drabeck. Tolles lifts the lazy fly ball into center. A 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. Just 6 pitches. That'll get his pitch count back in order. Disabled is trying to get his stroke together. Did a pretty good job before he was injured. And you take a look at the Blue Jays third baseman and how they rank in the American League.
Well, typically you'd like your third baseman to be a power hitter, a good athlete, and a good fielder. Their average is last in the American League on base percentage, second from the bottom on top of their slugging percentage. So looking for someone to fill that void to do some damage from third base.
Nix will start things off, goes after the first pitch, and it's a grounder to third. 1 pitch, 1 out here to start the fourth. Think back to spring training, and Brett Lawrie played a lot of third base for the Blue Jays, and you can see what he's doing in AAA Las Vegas over his last 5 games. 11 for 22. He's scored 10 runs. He's homered, driven in 7, and look at the walks. He's got 3 walks and 2 strikeouts in his last 5 games.
And that's the number that you're looking at. Pitchers trying to pitch around him now. The word is out again. He's hitting .342 in AAA. Word's out that he is now starting to understand himself a little bit better as a hitter.
1 out, back to the top of the order, and Escobar goes after the first pitch. Johnson with the backhand in time. 2 quick outs for Wandy Rodriguez.
Ball was topped off the plate by Escobar, and it gave Johnson a chance to set his feet. That whole play was him able to get his feet underneath him, backhand it, and make a good strong throw to first base, or Escobar would have been on there with an infield single.
So they're 2 down now for Corey Patterson. Kyle Drabek did a heck of a job in the top half of this inning. After his team had tied it at 1-1, he went out and threw 6 pitches, had a 1-2-3 inning, bottom of the order. That's how you're supposed to handle the bottom part of a lineup. Very aggressively, didn't waste many pitches, and turned it back over to the hitters. Corey Patterson lifts a high pop-up on the infield. Barmes is there. What an inning for Wandy Rodriguez. Just 4 pitches to get out of the 4th. We have played 4 here at Rogers. It's 1-1. Now it's time for an update with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn at the Blackberry Broadcast. Hitting 6 pitches, and he gets congratulations from his catcher. But then watch. Ricky Romero, Brandon Morrow, Jojo Reyes. Way to go, Kyle. How awesome is that?
1, 2, 3.
And you know what? That is exactly how you build the team. You know, get a guy so he can laugh at himself. He knows he's out there fighting himself, and everybody's on him about it. There's a looping blind drive into right. Bautista on the run, makes the shoulder high catch.
You know, if that helps them to relax, you know, that's a good thing. You saw him crack his smile a little bit there.
It's a baseball game. You're supposed to have fun like you played it when you were kids, and that's when the good ones are at their best. I mean, how many times can you remember George Brett when you played with him in Kansas City? I mean, just like he was a kid in California playing baseball.
In a tight situation, the good ones have the ability to focus, but other times they just crack a joke like it's nothing.
I can remember Brett coming up to the plate when I was catching here in Toronto, and he said, "I think I'm going to look for a fastball right now." I said, "I wouldn't look for a fastball right now. We're probably going to throw you a curveball." But that's how relaxed he was. We'd have ongoing conversations like that all over the place. Rajai Davis step back, and that ball is going to fall in front of him off the end of the bat. That's always a tough play for any outfielder. That big swing and a ball that hits off the end of the bat, a little flare into center.
Yeah, it's tough to get a read on it. That's where you've got to get a lot of help from the corner outfielders because their perception of it is a lot better. You see Davis late breaking, just didn't get a good read off the bat. Looked like a cutter down and away. You take that big full swing that's off the end. It looks like he's driving it right to you in center field, but it drops in front of him.
Number 3 hitter Hunter Pence. You've played outfield in the corners. You can actually help a center fielder by reading the flight of that ball.
Yeah, you're telling him in or back, or because your perception is from the side, and you can help him. Just like a center fielder will help you in the corner.
Hunter Pence drills at the left field. Corey Patterson on the run at the track, at the wall. Home run, Hunter Pence. A 2-run home run. Number 6 for Pence, and the Astros have taken a 2-run lead.
Well, they said they were going to try and bust him in. See if he can get his hands extended through the ball. That time it was in and it was up. You see Aaron Seavey on the inner half, but it's up right in the swing plane of Hunter Pence. No doubt about that one. 2 quick runs for the Astros.
And a base hit to right. Carlos Lee jumps on the first pitch fastball. He is now hit in 14 of 16 games this month. Pence's home run is the 6th allowed by Drabek this season. Also Pence's 6th home run. Brett Wallace had an RBI base hit. Water, 3-1 Astros have taken the lead here in the 5th inning. Ball on the strike.
92 miles an hour. There are the numbers for Kyle Drabek as they go through the lineup. First time through 250. It's a little bit better the second time. This is the 3rd look by the Astros at Drabek this season so far, over 300 against him. Hunter Pence had a better idea of what they were trying to do to him.
Well, that's a little bit on Aaron Seavey as well. A rookie catcher, he's going to have to remember not to fall into patterns, make some adjustments second and third time through the order. There's a ground ball. This should be 2. Hill to Escobar for 1. Back to first in plenty of time. 4-6-3 on the double play. Hunter Pence with a 2-run shot. His 6th has given the Astros a 3-1 lead. now gives him 18 for 37 games he's played in this year. And you see the most home runs hit in the first 37 games played. Mark McGwire had 20 back in 2000. Barry Bonds the same year had 19. Pujols was the highest back in 2006. And then Bautista this year, 18 home runs. And that is a very appropriate sign. MVP for Jose Bautista. Bautista leads off for a second time here tonight. This afternoon he's 0 for 2. Rodriguez struck him out on a high fastball his last time up. Wandy Rodriguez has really mixed his pitches well to Jose Bautista.
Kept it down for the most part. May has been some kind of month for Jose Bautista. 9 home runs for Bautista.
Granderson hit his 9th this afternoon in New York. Mike Stanton of the Florida Marlins, a young slugger. Adrian Gonzalez has had a big month for Boston. Gonzalez has 26 RBIs to go along with those 8 home runs. This is strike 3 call. Bautista didn't think so. He wasn't even going to consider that and felt it was well outside, but he strikes out for a second time this afternoon.
Well, for a guy with a great eye and an idea at the plate, that one looked like it was off. He was just getting ready and set for the next pitch, and you can see from our overhead camera that that one was right on the chalk of the left-hander batter's box. Not even close.
Aaron Hill lifts it a mile high behind second base. The shortstop Barmes is there. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell for an update. Yesterday, Cincinnati at Cleveland, they had 40,631 at the ballpark. Another full house. A lot of Reds fans as well as Indians fans in that great interleague rivalry.
And you wonder why interleague is around. Attendance is up all over baseball.
Interleague has been very popular. Seattle at San Diego had 34,000. Minnesota and Arizona 39,000. Lots of big crowds all over interleague baseball. How about the Washington Nationals at the Orioles? 33,107 yesterday.
Yeah, watching the film yesterday of that, the ballpark was jammed at Camden Yards.
The Detroit Tigers went into Pittsburgh. Jim Leland's returned to the Pittsburgh Pirates ballpark. 37,958. That's all Mr. Commissioner needs. I think personally, my opinion, it served its purpose. I think it's time to revamp it, maybe cut down the number of games, reduce the number of games. But I think there's a lot of inequities in the scheduling. The Cubs always have to play the White Sox, while the Cardinals are always playing the Royals. Strike 3 call. Dan Bellino has been very liberal on that outside corner. He gives Wandy Rodriguez a couple of strikeouts in this inning. Both fastballs down and away. Rivera agrees with Bautista. That might have been outside. Mets trying to win the series 2-1 over the New York Yankees. The Mets have played very well there. A game under 500, and they've done it with a lot of their regulars on the disabled list. David Wright is currently on the DL.
How about Johan Santana?
Yeah, he's been out all year long. They have made some changes, and they seem to be very positive. There's a little looping base hit into right off the bat of Chris Johnson. Last inning, 2 strikeouts for Wandy Rodriguez. Take a look at the strike 3 called on Bautista. He didn't agree with it at all, and you can see why. And then Juan Rivera, the same fate. Fastball down and away. Looked like it might have been outside.
Look how far the catcher pulls it back in for the umpire. If you can throw it there and he's going to call it, keep doing it. Why change?
Dan Bellino is 33 years old. He has been an umpire since 2003. This is his first full season. Made his debut June 25th of 2008. He is now a full-time umpire. Some of the umpires go back and forth. They serve as vacation fill-in umpires. As the umpires will have vacations throughout the course of the year. There'll be 3 or 4 umpires that will come on and serve as vacation replacements.
They rotate in and out. And this year we had 4 umpires retire.
There goes Johnson. Hit and run is on. Throw to second. Good tag by Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill had to go all the way across the bag on the shortstop side and bring his glove back and tag the sliding Chris Johnson.
Sebia very quickly recognizes the hit and run and throws it, but that play was made by Hill on the back end. Straddles the bag, gets his knee down, and then swipes it. And the runner slides right into it. Aaron Sebia throws out his 9th base runner this season.
Quick tag by Hill. He kept his balance and was able to swipe that glove back into the base pad.
I want to know how the umpire saw that so quickly. That replay shows that he was a fraction of an inch from getting to the base, but he was right on.
Brian Gorman, 19-year veteran of the American League. Brian Gorman's father, Tom Gorman, also a longtime Major League umpire, and Brian wears his father's number 9. And they have something that has never happened. They have both umpired a World Series game at Busch Stadium. They both had home plate during a World Series game. There's a ball popped into foul territory in the warning track, and that one will fall untouched. But Brian Gorman, the longtime American League umpire, umpired Game 3 of the 2004 World Series, Red Sox Cardinals, at Busch Stadium. His father, to give you an idea how good he was, he had Game 1 and Game 7 in 1968, the Red Sox and Cardinals.
Cardinals again. There you go. So he would have been behind home plate for Bob Gibson's big day in 1968.
68 was the Tigers and the Cardinals, not the Red Sox. The Tigers. 67 was the Red Sox and Cardinals. So Brian Gorman certainly carrying the family legacy on very effectively. 2-2. Trying to go to that outside corner that has oftentimes been a strike. Clint Varmus with a full count. Draybeck pulls it way outside. The 1-out walk. Third walk issued by Draybeck here this afternoon. The Astros have a 3-1 lead. One thing we haven't seen from Draybeck, any problems at all with his grip. Last time out against the Tigers, that was a constant problem for him. He was pitching outdoors, and it was a much cooler ball game.
Yeah, he just didn't have the grip. That could be some of the reason why he had the 6 base on balls. I thought he threw better in that game with 6 walks than he did the game before.
Brian Bogusevic, the left fielder, jumps back from an inside fastball. JP Arencibia will take a trip to the mound, help his young pitcher regroup. Last time out against the Tigers, he had 6 walks in that game. His previous start, he won against the Red Sox, went 5 innings, gave up 8 hits. That's right, I think he was much more effective.
I know Jim Leland was talking after that game, saying that when this guy gets it, and he understands himself and his ability to throw strikes whenever he wants to, it's going to be dynamite.
And Jim Leland should know he had Kyle's father Doug when they were both in Pittsburgh. Sean Kemp, the right-hander, starts to loosen up. Top of the 6th inning. Graybeck has fallen behind Bogusevic 3-0. He delivers a strike. Sliced down the left field line and into the seats.
The Jays on Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
There goes the runner, grounded to shortstop. Escobar has but 1 play, and that's to first. Moving to Renner kept the Astros out of the double play. Barmes broke for second. Escobar had to change directions, held his ground, and throws out Bogusevic.
As an infielder, you don't just sprint to the bag with your head down when they start that runner. You've got to be able to watch the runner and watch the batter. Escobar did a good job of changing directions and keeping that play in the infield and making it.
Catcher J.R. Tolles. Tolles is now 0 for 28. And a tough stretch for him with the bat. 2 outs. Astros are up by 2. Couple of big number innings, the first and the third, both 20 and 25 respectively. On 100 pitches.
This one's going to be a 20-pitch inning also for Kyle.
Three and 0. Obviously, this is the guy you want to come after.
Yeah, and you want to use your fastball also. He can just knock the bat out of his hand because his fastball's so good, but if you can't throw it over the plate, he's not going to swing. Bourne has been a thorn all series against the Jays.
There's a strike. Graybeck's got to challenge Tolles to put the ball in play. Three-one. Pours the fastball in there. Full count, 2 outs, runner at second base. Ground ball to short. Escobar, plenty of time. Graybeck pitches out of it. Comes all the way back from a 3-0 count to the number 9 batter. Strands another base runner. Houston has left 6 on base, but they have a 2-run lead. Bruce Walton sits next to the young starter, Kyle Drabek. He's trying to build upon these experiences, and Drabek is so competitive and got a lot of fire. Gave up the walk after base hit and still stranded a base runner, but and he has an idea just how good his stuff is.
Bruce Walton is just like this.
Has a long drive to left field. Aaron Sebia has just left the building. JP Aaron Sebia, with his 8th home run, has cut into the 2-run lead. First pitch swinging off Wandy Rodriguez.
Batters against Wandy Rodriguez this year on the first pitch are hitting .321. So not a bad idea for J.P. Arancibia to go up there, look for a first pitch fastball. If he gives it to you, do this. He goes down and gets it. He hit his last home run off the first pitch he saw from Wade Davis. Same thing here to open the 6th.
Rajai Davis needs to get on base now. It's a 1-run ball game. Arancibia, with his 8th home run, has tied Russell Martin of the Yankees for the most home runs hit by a major league catcher. Russell Martin had a home run in last night's game. Arancibia has tied him with his long ball here today. They are 1 ahead of former Blue Jay Ron Barajas, who's catching for the Dodgers. Young Alex Aguirre, and the former Blue Jay John Buck has 5 home runs. So Arancibia is holding his own in his first year as a rookie catcher.
Thrown out a base runner this afternoon. He also has a single his last time up.
Davis goes down on the breaking ball. 6 strikeouts now for Wandy Rodriguez.
Get it up under the hands to a right-hander. The big power hitters, he was throwing fastballs on the corner, and now against Davis he challenges him with a curveball.
Edwin Encarnacion just missed his first home run of the season his last time up. He was loaded up on that one too.
He was loaded up on that back leg, looking for anything out over the middle of the plate.
Backdoor breaking ball catches the outside corner.
2 tough pitches right there from Rodriguez. Now Encarnacion's got a battle. Can't have that long swing right here. You got to shorten it up and protect.
Rodriguez does a nice job of going to all different areas of the strike zone. Moves the ball around both with the breaking ball and the fastball.
You got to know what's coming now.
There's that breaking ball in the dirt.
He's thrown 4 pitches, and all 4 of them have been in a different quadrant. In, out, up, down.
Matt Arnsberg, the Astros pitching coach, former Blue Jays pitching coach, in his 2nd year with Brad Mills. Fouled off the catcher. Once again, the Blue Jays have scored both of their runs on home runs. Blue Jays hit 3 home runs in the game yesterday. Bautista had 2 and Escobar had 1. Encarnacion stays alive. Wandy Rodriguez has pitched into the 6th with 90 pitches. He has had a remarkable ability to go deep into a game. What a play by Johnson. You can't hit it any harder than Escobar or Encarnacion just hit it, but right at the 3rd baseman.
That would have been extra bases, something that Encarnacion leads the team in doubles. Curveball, he gets the bat head out and rips it, and Johnson goes all the way up and takes away the hit. I've been impressed with Chris Johnson. He's got great baseball genes. Grew up in a baseball family around the game.
Chris's father, Ron Johnson, is the first base coach for the Boston Red Sox. Longtime minor league manager. Number 9 hitter Jason Nix with 2 out. In the air to center field. Michael Bourne over into the gap. Is there. Nix is retired. The Blue Jays have cut into the lead. J.P. Arancibia's solo home run here in the 6th has made it a 1-run ball game. Houston still leads 3-2. The line is closed for Kyle Drabek. 6 innings, 8 hits. He was charged with 3 earned runs. He walked 3, struck out 3.
Lots of base runners. He created a lot of those. 8 hits, 11 base runners with the 3 walks, but he just gave up the 3 earned runs, so he will turn it over now to Sean Camp. Sean Camp, last time we saw him was a couple of days ago, 2/3 of an inning, a hit against these same Houston Astros.
Gave up an RBI base hit to Michael Bourne in the 9th. Bourne leads things off here in the 7th.
Good speed by Michael Bourne. He is tied for first in major leagues with 12 infield hits. So everybody's got to shorten up.
Bullpen has been a real strength for the Blue Jays all season long. They are first in the fewest hits allowed per 9 innings. Camp jumps out ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. They've done a good job of not walking a lot of people. They're 3rd in the American League in walks per 9 innings. And their ERA as a unit, their bullpen ERA is 2.99.
They've been last couple of days hit around a little bit, but they're still up there in that ERA. They are now dropped down to 2nd in team ERA in the American League.
Breaking ball fouled off. There was a time when the Blue Jays thought they were going to have at least 2, maybe 3 left-handed relievers in their bullpen. Now they're down to just Mark Sepchinski. David Percy has moved on to Oakland. Jesse Carlson's been hurt all year long. There was some thought that at one point maybe even JoJo Reyes would be in the bullpen.
And you look at those numbers, and if you've got right-handers who can get left-handers out, you know, what does it matter if you throw left-handed or right-handed? And You've got players down there like Villanueva, who's now going to start in tomorrow's game. Lefties just hitting 143 against him. John Roush, lefties hitting 206. Casey Jansen, lefties are hitting 150. So I would take production.
Davis on the run, in the gap, makes the catch. Bourne is retired. Boy, Davis got a good jump on that ball. Had him shaded to the opposite field. Makes a good play. First out here in the 7th.
Good man to keep off the bases, the way that he can create runs with his legs. So I would take production over what arm you throw it with.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mike Scioscia always said that. He went into many seasons without a left-hander in his bullpen. He said, you know what, if you have a mediocre left-hander down there, you'll probably use him when you shouldn't.
Usually in the 7th, 8th, 9th inning, when you've got to get a left-hander out.
Just because you have one, you figure, well, I'm going to use him. And if it's not a very effective left-hander like a Mark Zebchinski, you're running the risk of giving up some runs.
He makes life miserable on left-handers, his ability to throw his breaking ball over for strikes.
Zebchinski holding lefties to a 143 average. He has made a terrific transition into the bullpen. Be interesting to see down the road if that translates into his staying in the bullpen, or maybe his success in the bullpen will help him as a starter down the road.
I like him in the bullpen. He can carve out a long and prosperous career as a lefty reliever. Think of Scott Downs, who's 36 now, I believe. Such a long time as a left-handed reliever. Every team has him. He's such a weapon, I think, for the manager to use late in games. You circle the guy you don't want to beat you late in the game, and if he's a left-hander, you know you've got that matchup that you might need.
That's a great point. John Farrell loves Zebchinski down in that bullpen, and if he has a lefty, righty, lefty, he is so confident in Zebchinski's ability to get that middle right-hander around, he'll leave him in there. Keeps you from making two moves. Little tapper back to King. 2 outs here in the 7th. Lots of sports going on all over. We've got the hockey playoffs, the NBA playoffs, baseball is up and running, and for all the information, tune in weekdays for Primetime Sports. Join Bob McCown from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch it on Sportsnet 1. You can also listen to Primetime Sports on the fan590.com. And I'm sure he'll have a little recap of the Preakness. 2 outs. Hunter Pence, a 2-run home run in the 5th. That has been a wide outside corner all afternoon.
And if you're paying attention, that's where you want to throw it.
Tried to get Pence to chase that outside breaking ball.
Pence is leading them in all their categories, the offensive categories, and you watch him play defense. He plays hard in the outfield. He leads the team in outfield assists. He's got a funky throwing motion, but he still has 4 assists already.
I think the one thing that you recognize when you stand next to Hunter Pence, just how big he is and how strong he is. You don't really get a sense of that. He's bent over in his batting stance. You don't really appreciate the fact he's about 6'4". 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 7th inning of a 1-run game. Camp breaking ball hammered into center. Pence has another hit. Where he stayed back on that breaking ball and got a little bit too much of the plate. Camp did.
Too much of it, but a good piece of hitting. He's got his own style at the plate. Hits from an open stance, crouching, and he's just aggressive. He has 2 thoughts in his mind: be aggressive and hit the ball where it's pitched. That time, breaking ball right down the middle. He's got a multi-hit game.
Now, Bruce Walton quickly out of the dugout. At the same time, he has called down to the bullpen. Mark Zebchinski starts to loosen up. Looking ahead to Brett Wallace, the left-handed hitter who's standing on deck. Blue Jays will head to the Bronx for a 3 quick game series against the Yankees and then come right back Thursday night to take on Ozzie Guillen and the Chicago White Sox. It's a 4-game series. Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, 107, and a series wrap-up afternoon game on Sunday, May 29th. For tickets, log on to BlueJays.com. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. The White Sox are starting to play well. They've got Jake Peavy back off the disabled list, and he looks like the old Jake Peavy.
How about their pitchers bearing down when they get guys in scoring position?
4 of the last 5 games, they haven't allowed a hit with runners in scoring position. (3-2) Houston leads. 7th inning with 2 outs. Way outside. Mark Zebchinski has had enough time to be ready for Brett Wallace should Lee keep the inning going. Another pitch way outside. Pence doesn't run an awful lot. I'd kind of be surprised if he ran in this situation. He has 2 steals in 2 attempts.
Yeah, just 2 for 2. No need to run when you've got a big bopper like Lee behind you.
2-1. Left-hander Brett Wallace is on deck. He has an RBI base hit in this game. Pulled foul. That'll even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 pitch. He'll go around. Yes, he did. Home plate umpire Dan Bellino calls him out. Lee didn't even realize he'd been called out on the swing. Houston strands another base runner. The breaking ball does it. Lee goes too far. Camp strikes him out. Comfort Zone, our guest of TD. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Wandy Rodriguez has finished his outing, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs allowed. He walked 3, 1 intentional, and struck out 6.
93 pitches to get through 6 innings, and I think Brad Mills is feeling that he got what he needed out of Wandy Rodriguez. There was a lot of balls that were hit hard. The home run last inning by J.P. Arencibia, so he's going to go to his bullpen. And he brings out Wilton Lopez. He's usually the 8th inning guy. Looks like he's trying to get 2 innings from Lopez. He was sensational the other night when he came in.
Pitched the 8th inning, struck out the side, got Rivera and Eric Thames on strikes.
Ended up getting the win in that game with that inning of relief.
Got a great sinking fastball and a little splitter. Starts off Escobar with the slider inside.
When he is on, you'll get a lot of ground ball outs. Doesn't blow the ball by you, but throws lots of strikes.
When he came in the game on Friday night, he was down around the knees on both sides of the plate.
With great sinking action, movement. A lot of balls were topped and swung over the top. Right now, a little anxious as he falls behind 3-0.
Wilton Lopez is 27 years old. Started out in the Yankees system, signed as a non-drafted free agent in 2002. 3-0 pitch to Escobar. Pours it in there for a strike. Lopez came to Houston from San Diego. He was claimed on waivers at the start of the 2009 season. 3-1 pitch to the leadoff batter here in the 7th. Pulled foul.
It was a big one in yesterday's game, the home run by Escobar, and he knew it as soon as he hit it. Escobar hit his 4th home run, and Bautista said he was the star of the game because of that home run.
2-run home run in the 7th. That made it a 6-4 game. Leadoff walk. What a good at-bat boy. Escobar does a good job in that leadoff role.
Certainly did. Lopez had retired 13 of the first batters he had faced, 13 of the 15 first batter he faced before giving up that leadoff walk here in the 7th.
Corey Patterson now to face the right-hander Lopez. You look for a bunt here?
If Jose Bautista was not hitting behind him, yes, to try and tie the game first. But if he does sacrifice and he gets him to second base, they might just pitch around him.
Walk Bautista, even though he would represent the go-ahead run.
We saw it the other night.
Corey Patterson, not bunting, goes after the first pitch and pops it back. Probably what John Farrell is thinking too. If you bunt Patterson, you take the bat out of Bautista's hand.
And he has talked ever since he has used Escobar as the leadoff man and Patterson as the number 2 man. Escobar with a high on-base percentage. Patterson can pull the ball if he gets a ball inside, and they can play first and third.
Hit and runs on, and Patterson spoils a tough pitch. I don't know how he got the bat to the ball. That almost hit him.
You have to swing. The ball might have hit him if he didn't swing it. Look how far inside that is, and he swings and fouls it off. It's the only problem I have having a hit and run on with an 0-1 count. Chances are that pitcher is going to try and throw you a really tough pitch 0-1.
Patterson pops it up, should be playable. Catcher Tolles with the mask off, and Patterson's retired. So Bautista will come to the plate with a man on and 1 out. On Wednesday night, Tampa Bay walked Bautista, representing the tying run in the 7th inning with a man at first. Pulls the first pitch foul. Jose Bautista leads the American League in average and home runs. He is 10 back in RBIs, but the possibility of a Triple Crown contender is legit. The last Triple Crown guy was Yaz back in '67.
Long time. He's going to have to get those RBI situations if he is going to do it. Adrian Gonzalez right now is the man. He's got 10 more RBIs than Bautista. He's just so many more opportunities.
Gonzalez has 26 ribbies in the month of May. He's had a big month. Bautista in a hole, 0-2, 1 out. Ground ball to third. Johnson bobbled it momentarily, but they're still going to turn 2. Sharply hit ball to Chris Johnson at third. Does a good job of making a strong throw to second. Bautista hit it hard, but it's an inning-ending double play. Blue Jays trail by a run after 7. Tomorrow on Sportsnet 1 at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. The Jays against the Yankees. Carlos Villanueva will go to the mound tomorrow against Bartolo Colon. For Villanueva, he's had 27 Major League starts. His season high was 9 for the Brewers back in 2008. John Farrell feels confident he's stretched out to a point where he doesn't have to save a pitcher just because Villanueva is starting tomorrow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to him. You can give him 5, 6, 7 innings no matter what. Mark Zebchinski into the ball game, the left-hander with a couple lefties coming up this inning. In for his team-leading 22nd game already this year. And he has really eaten up the left-handers, just giving up 5 hits versus left-handers this year.
Lefties have hit 143 against Mark Zebchinski. Wallace lines it to left field. That'll get past Patterson all the way to the wall. Wallace is turning for second, gets there with a stand-up double. Stayed on that outside pitch and hits his 12th double of the season.
I think that's going to end up being a trade that helps both teams. Wallace looks like a good hitter from the left side. He's got power the other way. Stays on that pitch from Zebchinski and slices it down the left field line. We saw him in yesterday's game pull a couple of balls for hits. Today he goes to left field for his 12th double.
Third baseman Chris Johnson's had a good series against the Blue Jays. Hit a 2-run homer on Friday night had 3 RBI in yesterday's game and has a single here this afternoon. Two 2-0. That'll get a visit from the catcher for Zebchinski. Talk about Brett Wallace. He was traded from the Blue Jays to Houston for Anthony Gose. And Gose is playing center field at AA New Hampshire. And boy, he's really come on over his last 2 weeks.
Yeah, hitting at a clip of about 360. And I like the walks. So his on-base percentage is good. The stolen bases. And he hasn't created an error yet in the field. It's going to be a trade that works out for both teams, I think.
Well, when you think about the makeup of the Blue Jays roster, they had a first baseman in mind in Adam Lynn. They had to find out if Lynn could play first base, and they had a little depth in that position. At the time they made the trade of Brett Wallace, Lyle Overbay was the first baseman, but they had projected Lynn to be the first baseman this year. Wallace was drafted as a third baseman, but better suited to play first. 2-1 to Johnson. Ground ball. Wallace is going to third. There's the throw and the tag by Nix. What a good play by Escobar. Nix did a nice job too, because that throw took him right into the base path and he stayed with it.
Heads up play by Escobar to recognize that Wallace trying to advance on a ball right in front of him. And now you've got to hit a moving target. Nix has got to get over there. He does, and he applies the tag on Wallace before he gets to the bag.
He stayed with him, and finally looked like he tagged him on the shoe before he got to the base.
As a third baseman, you have to be ready for that play. If you're falling asleep and you're just watching that play, it doesn't happen. You got to anticipate that before that play happens. Get out there, make the tag. He might have missed him the first time, but got him the second time.
But you're right, he had to anticipate the possibility of getting that throw, and he was right there when Escobar came to third. A little looping fly ball into left. That'll get down for a base hit. Barmes has his second hit of the afternoon. He's 2 for 3. So now there are 2 on and 1 out.
Another ball right off the end of the bat, and he cracks the bat of Barmes. It's been a lot of bloop hits this series against the Jays.
Not too many hard hit balls throughout this whole game for Houston, but they have racked up 11. 11 base hits. They have a 1-run lead. Aaron Volkasevic, the left fielder, against Zebchinski. This is only the second at bat for Bogusevic against the left-handed pitcher.
Looking for that ball on the ground.
It's surprising we haven't seen Jason Michaels hit in this situation. Michaels started on Friday night. It's a right-handed bat. He started against JoJo Reyes in the series opener. Entering Jason Michaels. There's an inside fastball. 1-2.
I guess he likes this matchup, Zebchinski versus the left-hander, as opposed to bringing a right-hander off the bench. And it looked like Jason Frazier was throwing in ready.
1-2, 1 out. Chris Johnson is at second base. He reached on the fielder's choice, but Wallace was thrown out trying to advance to third. Clint Barmes is at first. 3-2 ball game. Kovacevic stays alive. We are in the 8th inning. Houston scored 1 in the 3rd. Blue Jays tied it on Juan Rivera's 2-out home run. And the Astros got 2 more in the 5th on a 2-run home run by Hunter Pence. JP Arencibia made it a 1-run game with his 8th home run in the 6th. Ground ball to 3rd. Knicks will go to the bag. Force out, not in time, and Rivera comes off the bag to scoop the low throw. They get the base runner at 3rd, Johnson. I don't know if it would have made any difference had Knicks gone around the horn to try to get 2.
Yeah, not sure, because the runner can run. He just can't get his feet underneath him. Has to throw off that back foot. But he got the lead runner. I don't know if they go around the horn and get 2.
Ball really wasn't that sharply hit.
If your momentum is taking you towards the bag, that's the play as a third baseman. You got to just take that play, step on 3rd, and hope you get enough on the throw.
Number 9 hitter J.R. Tolles. Couple of big insurance runs on the bases. 2 outs. A ball on the strike.
See that good hard sinker that Zepchinski has. I think that's why he's so effective versus the left-handers and the right-handers. He can make the ball go away from the righties and down.
Ball off the plate outside, 2-1. Blue Jays outfield is shallow and shaded around toward right. Bautista a few steps over toward the foul line in right and not deep. Just missed downstairs. It's 3-1. Michael Bourne, the left-handed hitter, is on deck. Mark Zebchinski trying to keep it a 1-run game. Top of the 8th inning. Bouncing ball up the middle. Hill knocks it down, goes to second. What a play. Hill was determined to keep the ball on the infield, and then once he did that, he was able to get the force out at second. The Astros strand 2 more. Good play by Hill. He had to knock it down to keep it on the infield, and then he gets the force out. Still a Another first, only from Rogers.
Jays have filled up the ballpark with some line drives this afternoon. Sometimes they don't have anything to show for it. Chris Johnson in the 6th inning robs Edwin Encarnacion of extra bases with our play of the game. Good leather at third base by Johnson today. He's only made 2 errors in his last 28 games.
Wilton Lopez with his 2nd inning of work. Will face Hill, Rivera, Arancibia, the scheduled batters here. Lopez has thrown several pitches up in the zone.
Something we didn't see from him the other night as Rivera waits on deck.
Hill gets underneath it and lifts it into center field. Michael Bourne's coming in. First out of the 8th. Ron Rivera has one of the 2 Blue Jays home runs here this afternoon. He had a 2-0 pitch out of the ballpark in the 3rd inning. That tied the game at 1-1. Mark Balanson and Sergio Escalona are standing ready down in the bullpen.
Melanson's the closer for the Astros. Now that Brandon Lyon is on the DL, Brad Mills might be asking him to go more than an inning as he gets ready here.
Looks like he's warming up with a purpose.
Yeah. And if they need him, if a couple of runners get on base, they might bring in their closer before the 9th. I think he realizes that Lopez isn't as sharp as he was the other night.
Yeah, we've seen that from the moment he came in. He walked the first batter he faced to start the 7th inning. And Lopez had issued just 5 walks in his last 45 appearances prior to that leadoff walk in the 7th. Lopez has been battling the flu in Atlanta against the Braves in that 2-game series. He was unavailable. Two balls, no strikes, same count that Rivera homered on earlier. And a home run cut, but the ball sunk on him. Off the plate inside. J.P. Arancibia is on deck. He has hit a home run. He also has a single. He is 2 for 3. Home run number 8 for Arancibia. Rivera will take the 1-out walk.
Got a batter at the plate with some extra base power. I'm sure they're going to look for a pinch runner at first base. We will see.
Mike McCoy has been recalled from AAA Las Vegas, but doesn't appear as though he's going to be called into this game. Rivera will take his lead at first. J.P. Arancibia. Good eye. And again, Lopez just not as sharp as we saw on Friday night.
You know, that's the one thing we have seen from Arancibia over the last couple of weeks is his plate awareness. That at bat he had against Justin Verlander in the no-hitter was extra special.
Might have given him a lot of confidence to take some pitches. He had a 12-pitch at bat in Verlander's no-hitter. And he finally worked Verlander for the walk, the only base runner that the Blue Jays had against Verlander.
That's got to give you some confidence.
Good hack and fouled it back. One out here in the 8th inning in a 3-2 ball game. Houston trying to win the series. Blue Jays trying to get back in. They're just down by a run. Blue Jays trailed 4-0 bottom of the 6th in yesterday's game. Stormed back with 3 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. Arancibia has seen the ball well.
Yeah, his ability to take that pitch, those borderline pitches, but you're also in a ready stance. You're ready to hit it.
Brad Mills, this is a very deliberate walk to the mound. It looked like he might make a change right in the middle of this at bat.
And does he go to his closer also? If you play your cards early, you give the other manager a chance to counteract that. If you play your closer in the 8th inning.
That's what he's doing. He's going to Mark Melanson here after Arancibia has a 2-1 count. He sensed just what you and I have seen with Wilton Lopez. He wasn't that sharp, and he was flirting with danger out over the plate. So when we come back, it'll be the Astros closer, Mark Melanson, coming in to work to J.P. Arancibia. Ken Reed will be the host, and he'll take you around Major League Baseball for all the latest on interleague baseball, plus the hockey playoffs and the NBA. Lots of news on Connected right after the game. Mark Melanson comes out with 1 out in the 8th inning. Melanson picked up his 2nd career save on Friday night.
They've needed more strikes from him, and he has delivered. Good earned run average, 208. 15 strikeouts, just 6 walks for Melanson. 24 appearances ties him for 5th in the major leagues in games pitched in. Brandon Lyon was the closer to start the season for the Houston Astros, but he's been on the disabled list.
Melanson came to Houston in a trade with the Yankees. The Yankees got Lance Berkman for Melanson back on the 31st of July of 2010. Melanson's a strike thrower. 71 of his 92 pitches have been strikes. And he has never allowed an inherent runner to score since he's become an Astro.
He's got a good fastball, but he's right over the top in a hard breaking ball. The kind that drops straight down. It's not a sweeping breaking ball. It's straight up, straight down.
2-1 count to Arancibia. There's the fastball for a strike. Rivera at first. Strike 3 called. That outside corner once again. The Blue Jays have been called out on that outside corner.
It's been open for business all afternoon. Bautista took a called 3rd strike. Rivera, now J.P. Arancibia on the outside part. Give credit to Tolles, the catcher, recognizing that, and they keep going there to the right-handers with 2 outs.
Dan Bellino has called it all afternoon. So there are 2 outs now. Rajai Davis. Davis singled off Melanson on Friday night. Right back to that outside corner.
That one was outside. We got a great view of that from where we're sitting. And it's the exact same pitch that he got Rivera and Bautista on. Look at that. Almost right up the chalk line of the left-handed batter's box.
Ball in the dirt. Ball and a strike, 2 outs. Eric Thames has a bat ready. He did not start in this game.
I bet you if Rajai Davis gets on, we might see him. Thames hitting.
1-1 to Davis. Melanson's taking advantage of this liberal strike zone.
As a catcher, when you found a little hole that the umpire keeps calling, you just keep going there.
You keep sliding out to your right.
A little bit further, a little bit further, and then see where he stops.
1-2. Bounce that breaking ball way out in front of home. Now, if you're Rajai Davis here, you've got to expect the fastball away, don't you?
Sure. Sure. I don't think he wants to go to 3-2. He'll cut his fastball away, but just look for something away. That's where he has been living. Right there, J.R. Tolles against the right-handers in these situations.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Went to the breaking ball and gets the strikeout. Melanson comes out of the bullpen and gets the final 2 outs here in the 8th. 2 strikeouts for Melanson. The Blue Jays strand another base runner. It's that good overhand curveball that gets Davis.
Is going to take over the team lead in home runs. This is number 6. He was tied with Chris Johnson when the game started. And this is the game breaker right now. The difference in the ballgame, a 2-run home run back in the 5th inning. Top of the 5th inning, Draybeck with a fastball in the inner half and Pence homers.
Hunter Pence has had a good series. His first trip to Toronto and Rogers Center. Casey Jansen worked a great inning yesterday. Came in the 7th inning with 2 on and nobody out. Struck out Carlos Lee and then got a double play off the bat of Brett Wallace.
Good numbers all the way around for Jansen. He has 5 walks in his 18 games.
Michael Bourne's been on base twice this afternoon. Little looper into center field. Davis on the run, makes a running grab. Good start to the top of the ninth.
Recognized that one. Remember earlier in the game, a ball off the end of the bat that he didn't get a good read on. It fell in for a base hit. That time he broke right away and kept Michael Bourne off of the bases.
Angel Sanchez has 2 hits in 4 at-bats. Looks at a first pitch breaking ball. Well, Casey Jansen has really been invaluable to this ball club, and it doesn't make any difference. Lefties, righties, he comes at you, throws a lot of strikes, and never gets into deep counts.
Well, he has 3 pitches that he can throw for strikes, and I think that's his background as a starter. When he first came up to the Blue Jays, he started, and you need 3 pitches as a starter. If you have it coming out of the bullpen and you throw strikes, you're going to be very valuable.
That cutter sailed way outside. 2 balls and a strike, 1 out. Jansen trying to keep it a 1-run game. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth. Scheduled hitters: Encarnacion, Nix, and back to the top of the order, Yunel Escobar. Ground ball, big hop for Escobar. 2 outs. Folks, the Blue Jays are a big supporter of the Rookie League Equipment Drive. The Rookie League is a summer-long baseball camp that benefits over 700 kids in Toronto community housing neighborhoods. Bring down your baseball equipment and monetary donations Saturday, May 28th and Sunday, May 29th, when the Blue Jays take on the White Sox. You can stop by and deliver your donations at gate 3, 5, 10, and 13, all pregame. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. You can also log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations for more information about the Rookie League Equipment Drive. Hunter Pence, as we mentioned, has had a big day. He's had a big series. His home run, the difference in this ball game. Eric Thames, the rookie, has his hitting gloves on and batting helmet just in case.
He's probably up underneath there getting some swings off the tee. Getting ready. I'm sure we will see him at some point at the beginning of next inning.
Jansen ahead 1-2.
Okay, it's time to use that outside corner right now. Blue Jays have had it done to them all afternoon. Time for Casey Jansen to flip a cutter on the outside part of the plate to Pence.
J.P. Arancini was called out on a fastball that was off the plate away. There it is. What an inning for Casey Jansen. A 1-2-3 ninth inning. He has set the table for a big comeback. It'll be Encarnacion, Nix, and Escobar. Bottom of the ninth. Blue Jays down by a run. Nix, and then Nix takes his helmet off. There are a lot of options for Farrell.
The wheels are spinning right now. Mike McCoy has got a bat, and he is on the on-deck circle. But first things first, Edwin Encarnacion has to get on base to create all this movement.
Encarnacion's had 3 pretty good at-bats today. He singled in his first at-bat, just missed a home run in the 3rd inning, and then lined a bullet to the 3rd baseman. Mike McCoy on deck.
If he gets on, McCoy hits and will probably run him over.
Mark Melanson got the final 2 outs of the 8th. Looking for the 5-out save. Good cut. Encarnacion still looking for his first home run of the season. .130 at bats.
The longest in his career to go without a home run. A lot of strength.
Melanson missed his spot, but had enough on it to jam Encarnacion.
Got a good arm, Melanson. I remember watching him with the Yankees last year before they included him in that trade for Lance Berkman. He's tall, good arm, and he's got a wicked curveball.
And there it is. He buried it in the dirt. Encarnacion has a hit off of Melanson in his only at bat. Blue Jays have been held to just 6 hits. Hit hard, but right to the second baseman. 1 out. So now Mike McCoy will be called back off the on-deck circle, and the rookie Eric Thames has jumped out of the dugout. He will hit with nobody on and 1 out.
Talking to him before the game, and he was saying, when are they going to throw a fastball? Now's a good time right here. Look for it on that first pitch and try and tie this game up.
Thames had 2 hits in 3 at-bats in yesterday's game, including an opposite field double. Fastball down and away. Generally, you will see rookies come up, and the first thing big league pitchers try to do is challenge them with fastballs. That's not been the case with Thames.
Lots of breaking balls, a lot of change-ups, but to his credit, he stayed right on them.
Borderline pitch, called a strike. Thames doesn't want to swing at that until he gets 2 strikes.
Right. Nothing you can do with that pitch.
Ball and a strike. And changeup took something off at 85. Now you have to bat it.
Another off-speed pitch, and it's just at the knees.
Came at him and crowded him with that cutter inside. 2 outs.
You throw a cutter to a left-hander, you want to make sure you crowd him and you get that ball underneath his bat. Exactly what Melanson does right there to pick up his 3rd strikeout in 4 batters.
Blue Jays down to the last out. Yunel Escobar has been on base 3 times.
Oh, he didn't call it. He started to pull back like it was a strike and then fought better. And Escobar is asking him, was it a ball or a strike?
Two outs. Bouncing ball to short. Big hop for Barmes. On the run. Wide, and Escobar's board. Infield hit for Escobar. He's been on base 4 times this afternoon.
That'll keep it going for Patterson. He has walked twice, doubled, and now this. Infield single for Escobar. Running hard all the way out of that box. And when that throw is wide, he'll have a hit. The Astros relief pitching has been rough this year, but I haven't seen any of that in these 3 games. They've looked great.
Yeah, the entire series, the bullpen has thrown very well.
You look at the numbers, 11 blown saves, which is the most in the National League. ERA of 4.84, which is last in the National League, but Brad Mills' relief corps has been outstanding here.
Mike McCoy will come on as a pinch runner for Escobar. McCoy can steal a base. He's 2 for 2 this season. And he's appeared in just 19 games. So Escobar's done his job. He keeps the game alive with 2 outs. Tolles has not thrown well all year long. Caught just 1 of 18. Outside. Jose Bautista would love one more kick at the can. Patterson will have to reach to keep the game going. And he does. Base hit. McCoy around second. He's headed for third. Pence gets it, and Patterson will end up at second. A clutch double for Corey Patterson.
Exactly why John Farrell likes him in the number 2 hole. If you're holding that runner on base, it opens up the hole, and with his speed, he can turn singles into doubles. Just getting it by the first baseman. Wallace holds him on. Patterson pulls the ball where he would have been standing. And with his speed, McCoy can get to third, and Patterson can get into scoring position.
So second and third, 2 outs. Bautista will be given the intentional walk. McCoy has to come down the baseline just in case.
Do not take anything for granted. We saw Jepson the other day from the Angels throw a ball to the backstop. Even the throw back to the pitcher. Just stay out there.
Chris Johnson, the third baseman, is walking down the line with McCoy. Aaron Hill is on deck. He will bat with the bases loaded and 2 outs. There's ball 4. It's only the 4th intentional pass Bautista has been given this season. Brad Mills talking to his pitching coach, Brad Arnsberg.
They walked Jose Bautista as Arnsberg's going to come out and just talk to Melanson just to make sure that everybody is on the same page. They walked Bautista the other day, and Aaron Hill almost came through with a big hit. He hit a ball down the right field line that Matt Joyce made a great play on, or it would have been 2 runs for the Blue Jays. And this is the situation that we were talking about, how important that number 4 hitter is hitting behind Bautista. If they're not going to give him a chance to hit, somebody's got to step up and win a game for him.
Brad Arnsberg, the pitching coach for the Astros, knows Aaron Hill very well. He was here for 5 seasons with the Blue Jays as the pitching coach.
Another thing to keep in mind is Melancon's got that good curveball, and Toles has been burying it and blocking it ever since he has come into the ball game. Anticipate one in the dirt, and McCoy runs really well. Third baseman's got to play deep. He can get a large lead at third. Maybe he can score on a short, wild pitch.
Tying runs at third. The winning run is at second. Aaron Hill. Been a good stretch over his last 7 games. First pitch curveball for a strike. Remember, we had mentioned how good Melancon is at throwing strikes. He's in the zone a lot. After that first pitch curveball, you might think he'd try to throw a better one and maybe bounce this one.
Be ready. Be ready for anything.
Ground ball to third. Johnson has it. Houston wins it. So the intentional walk to Bautista to load the bases. Mark Melancon gets his 3rd career save, a 5-out save. Hunter Pence with the big blow in the game, a 2-run home run in the 5th. The Blue Jays lose the series. They'll go to New York for a 3-game series. We will see you tomorrow night from the Bronx.